Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
Good. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I noticed you've been wanting to get your house sold. It's been on the market for a little bit, and I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about an approach that I have that to get this done for you.
Okay.
Overall, how have you been feeling? What type of since the last time we spoke, has there been any changes as far as offers or anything like that? Anyone knocking on the door or calling?
No, my house has been taken off the market, so I'm not taking any offer as of right now.
Right. All right. Well, since the last time we spoke, Naomi, I've done a lot of research and I'm looking at your townhome. And for some reason, compared to what you've been experiencing, homes have actually been closing an average like 25 to 25 days. So I looked at the price points and they were a lot, your house is a lot higher than the price points that sold in that time frame. So I want to talk to you about a plan that I have for you to get yourself back on the market with a price that can work for the market, like based on the data that we have, and we can actually get you sold.
So are you saying that my I have to drop the price?
What I'm saying is that you are overpriced based on your neighborhood and your community. So in your particular, when you have a townhome, your first comps are going to be what's actually in the townhome. Now you have some other townhomes around you that may be priced higher, but as far as like when they were built, some of the features and some of the amenities in the community, they are absolutely different. And I'm not sure if that's what you were basing or what you was expecting when you did that. So I wanted to do a little bit of research so we can look at some of the facts to see what's causing your home to not get the results that you was anticipating.
Okay.
So right now, I have homes here. So your townhome in Callaway Glen, compared to the other ones, I have a home that recently sold in July at 269.5. We have one that sold for 253, and we have one that sold for 253 as well. So it's evident that your community sells. I had a chance to look at your house. There's nothing wrong with it. It seems like it's moving ready. I really want to talk to you about the price so we can get your home sold.
Sure.
Okay. So right now, there's something called the Canary Report. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, and it gives us a close range of what you can get based per square footage. And I wanted to just position a house for you to tell you what we can do. It doesn't look like you need to do anything but really get it back on the market and price it so it can get sold. Now you had
Okay.
your house sold, you had your house listed at 280 for your for sale by owner. And I want to go ahead and talk to you about getting it listed at least at 270 so we can have some conversations.
Sure. I want to see the comps and have an idea.
So I am trying to show you the comps through, I don't know if it's sometime ready. Do you have any like any visitors or anything coming in a way that would interrupt that? Because once we go over these numbers, we can get you back on the market based on the state of your home starting next week.
Okay. I
The
mean,
pic-
I just want to see what you have to offer, like how much you think I should sell my house for, because I was already on the market. It didn't sell. And I tried two different agents. They both said they are going to get it sold. However, they listed the home and the house didn't sell. So at this point, I prefer to reduce the price and just sell it myself. So that was the conclusion.
okay, well, here's the thing, Naomi. You could get the information from us and then try to implement that information on your own, but that wouldn't be the best approach that I would take. So the other agents that said that they could get your home sold, did they just tell you to do a price thing? Did they talk about marketing, how to position the home?
So the first one was just a referral. And well, we went over the price. At that time, the price was really good, and I saw the cons. The cons were was really really good. So we priced the home according to the market, but I think she didn't do enough marketing on the
Mhm.
property. So I didn't have a lot of showings, and I didn't have only had offers from investors. However, the second agent told me, well, this is what she did wrong. It is what I would do. And I gave the agent the listing, and again, no showings and still offers from investors.
So let me tell you while I'm getting this up, and I apologize about the inconvenience. So One thing I don't do is just rely on putting the home on the MLS. If you just do that, then you might get the same results. So getting the price, changing the price first of all, Naomi is going to get the right buyers who could afford the home. When you place your house above the market rate, the person who could really afford your home doesn't even have sight of it. They might not look at it because it's out of their budget, but the truth is that it was within their budget. So a couple of things that I do a little bit different. I use MLS, but I also use YouTube, and I also place the home on Facebook. I also place the home on Craigslist because ideally, what I also know is that your buyer may not necessarily live in Texas. Your buyer may be relocating, and we want to make sure that the house is being positioned everywhere. That includes me making phone calls to people that may be in a price range with like reverse prospecting. It's just a little bit more effort behind the scenes. So I don't speak bad about other agents because that's just not an integrity thing. Like it's an integrity thing for me. Everybody's always putting their best foot forward. I can tell you what I can do. So those are the first things that I want to let you know. Another thing that comes in place too is what I've seen is that you have great pictures, but they don't look like they was positioned correctly on the MLS. So we live in a time frame where people have about 5 to 10 seconds to get for you to get their attention and to actually keep it. And what I noticed is that you had a whole bunch of pictures, like your first 6 pictures was just the outside of your home. I want to go ahead and highlight the key features of your home so that people could actually want to go ahead and look at that because truly from a buyer standpoint, most homes look the same. We want to go ahead and show what's unique about your home and what's next to your home in proximity. So other homes have sold, but we want to make sure that we're highlighting your home, not just putting it up for sale. All right.
Okay.
So with that being said, Naomi, I am going to, for some reason, in some technical difficulties, it is not allowing me to pull this document. Okay, maybe this is it. Can you see it now?
Um, no, I'm not seeing that.
Hmm. Let me see if that'll do it. Thank you so much, Naomi. So right here are the homes that recently sold in your area in the last 6 months. This home right here sold in January. I'm sorry, in July. This home sold in June, and this one sold in April. So we're in September. This is recent evidence that homes are selling and your home, and they're not having an issue getting that done. And now, what I did notice in the history of these homes, they were priced a little high before. That wasn't their asking price, but that's what they were. That's what they were sold as. So again, you're asking for this high rate, but this is the reality of what they're worth, what they're worth based on the evidence what was sold and based on what they would appraise as. So I'm looking at the highest point right here, and we can round it off. You had your house listed at 280, and I would like to list your home at 270. We can get this done this week. I would rearrange your pictures inside the MLS. You can sign the contract. And with this only being, which I've shown these homes have sold in less than 30 days, been days of market, not closed, but days of market within 25 to 30 days. We only have to sign the agreement for 2 months to get this done. And I'm sure based on all the backlog that I've done, all I have to do is just reposition the house, change the price, and get you sold. Now you can sign it, DocuSign. It's very easy. You have my full support. I'm available to you, and we can move forward. Um, we can go ahead and pull that up right there. And if you look also at the square footage, again, it's not much difference. We just need to get you price correct,
This
Naomi.
one is built in 2016, and that one is 2009, and that one is 2005.
Right.
Right
So,
here, my house is built. Can you show
right,
my house for a second, please?
sure. Hold on one moment. Let me pull that up for you. So your house was built a little bit later, and we have one active. But the thing that sticks out about your house, Naomi, that some people may really, really love and enjoy is that you have something called the in unit. Most of these homes are in the middle. An in unit,
Premium lot.
yeah, a premium lot. People would be more ideal. You get more sunlight into it. Those homes were a little bit more dated. And to be honest, I did notice when I just kind of looked at the staging of the homes, it looked like they could have been like rentals at that point. So I took a lot of time to look into the history. So I don't think that your build, what you're looking at in 2016, is going to necessarily impact you because you have great features. You have stainless steel. Your painting, again, the light that's coming through your home, it has some pros and cons, but I still think that you could be positioned well outside of the date that you was actually built. And if you give me 1 second, I'll pull that up for you. Now, the sign that they use for your property, I didn't have a chance to see that. What type of signs did they use at your home? Like,
I
was
don't
it a,
remember.
you
It
don't
was
remember?
just the sign. Nah.
Okay. That matters, believe it or not. With your community, I will make sure that you have signs for sale, not just when you have an open house, that you'll have signs for sale when you while your house is active. You'll have open house signs when we actually do open houses, and we'll make sure you have a visible sign for your property in the event that somebody sees it, on the street and want to kind of have some direction to get to it. What I'll also do is put your, excuse me, this shouldn't show it. What I'll also do is put an information slot outside so they can pull some MLS sheets in event, because most people can't. The problem is you can have a buyer, but if their agent can't get to them fast enough, we just want to make sure that they have information that they can make an informed decision to purchase your property. I am going to pull this up and get in here so you can look at your house. Oh no. All right. This is a little tough. All right, here. Naomi, and if you could look at the 1 second. We're gonna pull this up here. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
So Callaway Glen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been in this neighborhood. So recently we're gonna go ahead and show you your home because your home is in coming soon. Right now, I'm just gonna see what your house looks like in coming soon status. So we don't have no pictures, but we can get some details about your home, right? So you have a two-story townhome, 2 beds, 2.5 baths, and we could list you at that 270 that I mentioned. And with that being said, you have the square footage. You have the square footage. It's more of the layout. You have the school system, which is highlighted. But the biggest thing is that you're not too far from Carowinds, which is an amusement park, which is great for investors as well. I don't think that you can attract investors, first time home buyers. So you have a lot working with your property. I truly believe that people was interested, but the price and you're not willing to budge on the price kept you in a situation where you couldn't get it sold.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, this I got everything mocked up so we can move forward with getting this done. This is what you would look like on the market right now in that 270 price point. But you have Rivergate Shopping, which is Publix, Harris Teeter. You have Sephora. There's tons of stores in walking distance with public transportation. Naima, I don't want to waste your time. I want to focus on the facts. And what I do see here is that you more than likely have two things going on, a marketing issue, and then you also may have a pricing issue. 270 is what I would recommend as a professional real estate agent, and we can get that sold today. And as a courtesy, we can sign an agreement for 2 months because it wouldn't take me long to get this done for you. And we can sign that today.
So what is the price that you suggest for my property?
270.
270.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where was that priced at when I was first on the market? When I was last on the market?
You was priced at 280.
Okay.
I don't know what
Okay, so
conversations or what the other realtors mentioned to you when you was working with them, but I'm definitely focused on what I see closed. But the biggest thing that sticks out to me is that they were not on the market a long time, and you should not have that same issue based on the way that your house looks like now. It's moving ready, doesn't have a smell. You're a motivated seller, but we need to get you priced correctly.
well, I
And what I'll
honestly believe that if I have to go back on the market, it's
Mhm.
279. I mean 275. But if I have to go to 270 and then after that being asked to drop the price, like I said, I saw the home before. Maybe that was a little long time ago, but I believe that I can do it again. So I will be keeping that as a post by owner maybe for like a month or two and see how it goes.
Well, here's the thing, Naomi. A month or two is something you have something called holding costs. So I want you to think about what it takes for you not to get this done. What you have to pay, your HOA fees that you have to pay, your grass that you have to keep managed. I want you to think about the mortgage payments that you have to keep paying when you could just focus on getting this sold and moving on to the next chapter of your life. So if you look right here, I'm going to show you. I'm not a
Well,
big
me listing it for sub owner is me getting things done. I'm not sure what you're saying about I need to get this done. Is real estate agent the only way to get a home sold? Because I tried two of them, it didn't work.
it looks like you tried two of them and you didn't get the results you expected. And I don't know, again, not to speak honest, not to speak negatively about them not getting it done based on your expectations, but I want to focus on what I'm seeing and with these numbers. And the numbers are showing that you have a community that people are interested in moving into. You have the area and the surroundings about it, and you have the price points with that's affordability. And this market is showing that it's neutral. So it's not a buyer's or seller's market. It's neutral where if two people work together, they can get the deal done. So it's not that you can't do it yourself. I can give you this information, Naomi, and you can implement it yourself. And that's okay. But again, I'm not sure what your workload is like and what you need to do to focus on going to where you're going, not where you are. So again, you have something called a holding cost. And when you add that up
What
versus
is
what
the holding cost?
holding costs is anything that it costs you to live at your home for the most part, any
I mean, I
responsibilities.
have been living here for years, so I wouldn't mind paying those costs until I get my home sold. But I just don't see why I should drop my price to work with the realtor.
Why you want to drop your price of work to realtor? So you was on the market. Your holding cost is going to be how many months or how long it's taking you to get your home sold. So let's say, for example, you go back on the market and do what you've been doing to get the same results, and it takes you 6 months. I want you to multiply 6 months based on what it costs you to have your home versus you dropping the price to where it needs to be so you can get sold and move on. Because another thing when we talk about holding costs, that's just your responsibility. But I looked at your home and you actually have equity. We're going to be making money when we move forward, Naomi, and you're going to be moving towards your next goal. So, as I said, we can go ahead and get this done. The listing agreement is only for 2 months. All you have to do is sign, and we can move forward this week.
I mean, like I said, I don't mind paying my costs as long as I'm living here. This is my primary home. But if I have to go back on the market, I was thinking about 285. If I'm dropping the price, I will be listing for Saba owner until it's sold.
So, you
And
want to,
maybe the
okay,
buyer's agent can represent me if they have a buyer. I don't mind. If you have a buyer, you can bring him over and I'm happy to pay you 4% for your buyer and for the listing, just to represent me on the documents.
so you said if I bring a buyer that I could represent you, represent the buyer and represent you as a dual agent.
Yeah, you can help me with the paperwork if you would like. I mean, I really don't need one, but if you really want to help me, I mean, that's the option that I have because it doesn't make sense for me to drop my price and pay two realtors. I mean, if I want to drop my price, I can just drop it and put on Zillow and wherever I want to. Also have a very large following on Facebook. So I have been posting on Facebook and I have seen people asking me questions. So I mean, I'm not in a rush, honestly, to be, I'm not desperate to drop my price like that just so I can sell it. So I mean, if you can sell it for minimum is 275. If you can sell it for 275, I mean, uh, I saw your marketing strategy. It's all right. It's good. It's basically what most agents do. But if you are confident that you can sell it, like my price is like minimum. I would love to start at 285. Maybe if we have to drop the price 275, but anything below 275, I'm not working with an agent.
So Naomi, um, everybody can have the same marketing plan. It is about how you implement the marketing plan. I can tell that to you all the time. And you don't necessarily have to pay two, but you don't have to pay two agents. So the one thing I do want you to understand that if I represent a buyer and they're under a buyer agency, I have fiduciary duties for both people. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to look at these same numbers and I'm going to place an offer on this home based on the same numbers. Now, in this price point, which is the beauty of your situation, which I want to point out,
Mhm.
this is affordable, I would say, housing. And at this price point, this particular buyer may not necessarily need closing costs because they may have some assistance through some programs. They also may have the situation where they can pay me directly. So I don't want you to focus on you paying to realtors. I want to focus on the result you want, which is getting the home sold. Because
Well,
I'm
the
gonna have
result is
an
the
obligation
money
to
in
that.
my pockets.
I'm
The
sorry.
only thing that the result is getting my money in my pocket. I mean,
Okay.
like I said, I'm not in a rush of selling. If I have to drop it to 270, it's really not. I don't know. I don't see why I should do that. So, especially that
Based
you
on the
say my
numbers.
home was on a premium lot. So,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
have a
like I said,
lot. And I think what you keep in your house where it's at, you can find someone that may be willing to, but these homes, while you was on the market, these homes were sold over your premium lot. And that's what I'm trying to highlight to you. I respect and understand that you want to make the most money out of it. And of course, that's what I want to do when I represent you is to get the most money that you can get. And I'm gonna make sure I highlight that you're on a premium outlet and that you're very close to the pool and other things within the community itself. But I don't want to overlook what I'm seeing from a logical standpoint and from a data standpoint to say, hey, Naomi, let's list it at the 270. Let's keep it the 275. We can list it at 275. It doesn't mean that we're going to get it. Now, if we position it where we get it at 270 and two people want to put in this offer and maybe give you a little bit more of the $5,000 because they want this premium lot more than going across the street, because we do have that available too, we can go ahead and negotiate that. So 2 months is all I need to get this done for you. I will make sure I position this properly correctly to the way it should be. I will reposition your pictures and put them on multiple outlets outside of just the MLS platform, which is just not enough, right? And then again, understand when you're on the MLS, after you're sitting for a while, you start to lose your status. It's an algorithm. So you're going to start looking old. And I'm going to be honest, going on there, dropping your price, let's just go to where we need to be to get it done. And you can go ahead and sign today and we can move forward.
like I said, if I'm dropping my price, I will keep as for Saba owner. There is no point for me to drop my price and pay realtors, pay all these fees, and they're probably gonna ask me for a seller concession. They're probably going to ask me to drop my price too. They're not gonna offer me the asking price. So, like I said, if you have a buyer, I'm happy to. I mean, I also have an attorney that can help me with the paperwork if you don't want to, but um, like I really don't see why I should drop my price. They
Yeah.
probably were desperate to sell. I mean, I don't know. I'm not desperate
I
like
didn't see
that.
any desperate. I didn't see any desperation in the in the data. It shows that they were listed and they sold within 23 to 25 days. That's not a form of direct desperation, and they didn't have a lot of price drops. So I want to focus on what I'm seeing and focus on the results. And Naomi, am I missing anything? Because I did pull up the I did pull it up and I showed you what the largest home as far as the highest price point. We rounded that up to 270, which is a $10,000 difference. Is there something that I'm missing that doesn't help you or myself, help the results like what we're trying to do um visible for you to see to get this done? What do you
So if
feel?
you went when I first listed my home, you will see that there's a property just like mine who sold for 279. That's what I'm really insisting on the fact that 275 is the minimum. We can start at 280 and then drop it to 275 and see what comes in. If I get anything between 270 to 275, that's fine. But I don't want to drop my price to 270 and work with the realtor. So
Right.
I'm just the fee is just way too much. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, the fee, like I said, you everything is negotiable. You may not necessarily
Yeah.
the fee with me specifically, we could talk about that. You don't have to pay the buyer's agent. That is an option. they may have some services because I'm looking at your price point. A certain type of person is going to purchase this home. It's either going to be based on what I'm seeing, more than likely in our area, is going to be an investor or a first time home buyer. And my concern is that that first time home buyer could purchase your home with that pre-approval that they have, but because their agent is not seeing this house in their list, we're wiping out people that can get there because again, we want to go back to the facts is that you've been sitting on the market at that price point and nothing has happened. You did that yourself. And then you involved two other people that went along with your plan for the 280 and you didn't get the results. What I'm
Well,
doing,
that was the CMA. That was the CMA. That's what they showed me. They showed me some comps. They told me that 280 was a solid number. We did have showings, but we didn't have any offers. So this is what I'm suggesting. Like I said, the minimum is 275. I mean, if you want to take the listing for 275, that's fine. We can do 275. But I'm not going lower than that. If they want to offer me they can offer me anything between 270 to 271 to 275.
well, it'd have to be based on what if we list you at 275, that's fine. I cannot guarantee that you're going to get that. So I just want to go ahead and let you know.
So
And
what
with
guarantees that I will get 270? What makes you so
so
confident that I will get 270? Those numbers on paper?
yeah, because I'm looking at what was sold, not what's listed. I'm looking at what was sold and what was sold 2, 3 months ago. So it's not an issue with your community. We need to focus on what the issue can possibly be based on evidence, and that's your pricing. I can list you at the 275, but I cannot guarantee that you're going to get that. And what I will also let you know as part of if with me working with you, I'm willing to do a 2 month agreement as an exclusive agent because that's all I need to get it done based on the data and the way that I'm going to implement your property and position it. And then I'm also going to do weekly calls. If we're not getting any showings, if somebody says it's too high, I'm going to have very honest conversations with you about that, Naomi, so we can make sure whether I get that for you or not, you have the data and the information you need to get this household because I'm working with you to get this done. And I want you to get this
Can
done for
you
your,
show me this home, the one on 13,520, the last property?
let me see here, 13,520.
Yeah.
So 13,520
Okay.
is the middle unit. Are you able to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at okay, so they were listed at 260 and they closed at 253. How
I'm sorry.
much they pay in seller, I don't know how you guys call it, but like seller additional fee to the buyers, or I don't know how
Well,
you call it.
their circle, that's not what they're paying to the sellers has nothing to do with you. It's we're gonna negotiate what's best for you and based on what you're willing to do and not do. That has nothing to do with it. We want to focus on the price. Now we could look at the history, Naomi, and you could see that they was right here in that 260 right here, and then they sold at the 253. They're a middle unit though. Most people will pay to have an in unit and
Yeah.
also shaped a little bit different. But they have the house as far as it's a nice home. It's very similar to yours. But where you're
What
gonna
about the next property? The one before this?
let me pull that up for you. Hold on one moment. And that black is dated. You have stainless steel, like the color in your home, the light in your home really opens it up more. Again, this is the middle unit. This particular home, as I said,
So
it
this
looks
house is almost 200 smaller than the one that we just saw, and they were willing to sell for 253, just like this home. I mean, like I said, 275 is my bottom line. I'm
so
not, I cannot list my home under 270. I got 270. I can't do that.
okay, Naomi. Again, we can list your home as you see, we can list your home the way that you
And
want
I'm
to.
confident that I
It's
can
gonna
get
be,
275.
yeah. And if that's fine. The same way that you're confident about what you want, I'm with what you want. But I'm also with being honest. I can go ahead and list it at 275. I just want to be clear. I am willing to take it at 275. I'm not guaranteeing you that we can get the 275, but I will guarantee that I will fight to get the 275. You can go ahead and sign it now. We just need 2 months and we can get back on the market on Monday.
Okay, so you're not confident that I can get to 75. Is that what you're saying?
I said I can't guarantee, and I said I will fight for it. And we could go ahead
Okay.
and get you back on the market on Monday, and you could sign right here on the dotted line. And we only need 2 months to get it
Sure.
done based on the
I will
data.
have to talk to my husband and we'll review your work and then we'll get back to you.
Well, Naomi, to make it easy, we could call your husband. We could get him on the line. You want to chime him in?
Uh, he's at work at this moment.
Okay, Naomi, you want to get your husband on the line? We can chime him in. We can do it via Zoom or phone calls. I'm quite sure you guys went over
He's
this.
at work. Yeah, he's currently working. So if you can just email me everything that you showed me, and then I will review that with him. And if we decide to hire a realtor, we do have another meeting actually with another realtor to so-called local expert. So we'll speak to that realtor and we'll review your paperwork, and if we decide to move forward with one of you, we'll let you know.
All right, Naomi. Well, we'll make that nice and simple, and I can make that easier to outline for you. If you just give me your email along with your husband's email, I can add it in with the information, and
Sure.
you guys can look at it and move forward. The email is going to go ahead and have a contract, which I said is for 2 months. It's going to have the price that I recommend, and it's going to have the strategy that I want to implement, not just advise to do. And then we can go ahead and move forward. What's his email address?
It's gonna be Maloe123@gmail.com.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and set that up in Gmail right now. Let me know when you get the invite because I'm going to set it
Um,
up for follow up.
the
We could follow.
invite or what? What is it?
It's an invite for a follow up.
Uh, just send me the documents. We don't need to schedule because I have to check my schedule and his schedule. He's a very busy person. So just send me your work, your documents, and then we'll review that with the other agent who's gonna come. Then we'll let you know if we're moving forward.
Okay. I hope things work out with that, with you guys getting it sold. I sent over the information so you can look at it. And I'll just go ahead and keep the follow up on my end and make sure I follow up with you guys. So you said you're meeting with
Okay.
them on today. Go ahead.
No, he's coming in Monday. Yeah.
Monday? Okay. So I'll give you a chance to go ahead and see which one works out best for you. You guys can look at it and I'll give you a call on Monday so we can move forward.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. So how do you feel about your presentation?
Well,
And you can
overall,
stop the sharing,
okay. Overall, I
right?
want to work on my presentation because I told you I haven't had the chance to do it and like kind of getting more efficient with Zoom.
Hmm.
Um, and that's really it. Like as far as like technology, I like to kind of have it. Well, I feel like I can't see you. I like to have it
Oh, I
streamlined,
have another
like the process. Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And that's it. I also want to make sure I am very, which you've probably seen already. This y'all seen it. I know y'all seen it. I want to make sure that it doesn't do like this, but I'm very like this. Yeah, I'm like this. So it's a great thing for me. Some people may be offended, but you wasn't like, why are you talking to me like that? It's just like now I'm like, you're not doing all what you talking about. Like, look at these numbers. What we gonna do? I definitely was closing, soft closing, closing, blah, 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 blah throughout the whole call. So it's just about okay, when it gets to that, I asked you, am I missing something? And then the next thing is, if you keep going off, which is fine. Like I said, people have ways that they process decisions. I did a follow up. I tried to go ahead and get the husband involved. I tried to go ahead and put the follow up to get it dedicated. I still was like, you could sign an agreement. I only 2 months to get it done. And I felt confident about getting it done. But what I wasn't going to do is jump on board what you say. We could do what you're doing, but I'm telling you what I'm going to fight for because that's what your goal. But I'm telling you what's all negotiable. So that's just my feedback. I just want to go ahead and present a little bit better from an aesthetic standpoint and to make sure that I don't come off argumentative when somebody is just being like this. But naturally, that's the type of person I am. Not that's how I'm what's it like. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand. So, okay, let me go back to my notes. So, I would say I really love your closing through the presentation. It's something that is really good. Okay. Closing and but what I will say is, and let's talk about your tone of voice. The tone of your voice is good. You being more, I'm not gonna say aggressive, but have more authority. It's really good because especially my situation being expired twice and trying to sell it myself, but still entertaining realtors. So you can understand that my mind is a little bit, half all over the place. So if I want to work with someone, I want to work with someone who, uh, I know that person's gonna take care of me. They know what they are doing out there on the field, and you give me that energy. You give me that feeling like, okay, you know what you're gonna do. And you're not like lazy. You're not like, but that's just me as a seller. Now, I would say work on your listing presentation structure. If you can get a script of any coach that you would like presentation, it's really important on how you start your conversation with the client. Because the way that you started the conversation is like, and also you have to know like what you are saying and what they are hearing and what they are understanding.
Uh-huh.
Three things different. You might say like you are the price that you were, blah blah blah. You say something like that. I don't remember your wording, but what I'm hearing is that you're overpriced, and with your she disappeared. Okay, so like I was saying that, yeah, just making sure, um, you know, you make sure that the message is really, what you want them to know and understand. Now, when it comes to the comms, I don't know if I see that we have the same metal, same MLS, sorry. So if we do have the same MLS, I suppose that you have a, how you call this, cloud CMA. Use the cloud CMA. It's
Uh-huh.
more presentable.
Uh-huh.
Uh, it's easy to understand and follow, like go through it during the presentation. And you don't want to tell them how much they have to sell their home, even if you know how much uh they have to sell the home. Help them discover like, oh, okay, I need to be here. Okay. So for example, the home that was at 1300 square, I think it was like 1300 something.
Mhm.
It was built in 2009. They sold it for at the same price of the other property built in 2005, 200 square footage smaller
Oh,
than that. They sold it for the exact same price. That could have been a window for you to say, you see, this is going to affect the comps in the community because pricing are really going down. And also bringing up the appraisal issue. Okay, appraisal, why is it going to affect you during the process? Like there's a lot of objection handle that you could have used
uh-huh.
for me to really see that, okay, there ain't no way I'm getting too hairy in this community
Uh-huh.
that you just missed. So I'm you're gonna rewatch the video and maybe have somebody else in the office say, okay, let's go over this and see where you missed, and how to do that. So another thing that I would say is that we treat this role play as a real role playing,
Uh-huh.
um because as a real listening presentation, because this is what's going to help you in front of the client. And
Mhm.
I would say be prepared. I think you
Yes.
didn't know anything about me, anything about my situation. So you
Mm-mm.
didn't call me to pre-qualify me. You didn't know that I had a husband. So you
Uh-huh.
wasted your time and
Mhm.
you came here just so I can tell you, let me
Mhm.
talk to my husband.
Mhm.
That could have been prevented to the
Right. That is true.
pre-qualification.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I have for you. Help the seller self-discover, repeat and approve. Don't tell them you are wrong. You can't get that because 270 and two. You didn't say that. I said what the seller is hearing.
Uh-huh.
What the seller is hearing, and understanding. Because 270 and 275 is really not too far. So what makes you so confident that you can get 270, but I can't get 275? You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So That's how they think. So just that. And other feedbacks will come when we watch the video. But other than that, I love it. Like I said, I always love the tone of your voice. I like the fact that when you speak, you sound like you really know what you're doing.
Mhm.
So that was pretty good.
So then once I really get good at this Zoom, and I, like you said, use the cloud, because that would give me structure. Like that's one thing that I know I need to focus on just in business, is having structure. And it just, because when I tell you, I was like, oh my God, I gotta hop on, let me get off the highway, let me pull it up and let me get on Zoom and let me figure it out. Like I definitely am always one of those people that I'm willing to take the risk of not looking perfect and having the experience, as opposed to being like, I'm not going to do it because I'm not ready.
No,
I don't know how to
no,
share
no.
Zoom.
That
Yeah.
is good. And I promise you, after multiple sessions, multiple role plays, you will see that, oh my gosh, actually. And this is me, even though when I thought that I knew how to do my listing presentation, but just role playing with everybody here, I'm like, okay, I'm learning this. This is how I'm saying it. So I'm not supposed. So you'll see, it's going to be worthy at the end.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it.
So, Shanira, any feedback before we get deep?
My apologies that I joined a little bit late today, but I was able to get through part of the CMA and the rest of the presentation. So very similar to Naomi, Tanisha, you are very confident, which is really good. Like it sounds like you know exactly what you're talking about. You sound active and aggressive, which was
Mm-hmm.
really good. The only thing is you have to like find the balance between the active and aggressive agent, but also the agent that understands their client's problems, right? Because at some point Naomi was telling you, you know, you kept saying, "We'll help you sell it quickly," but she kept saying, "I don't want to sell it quickly. I'm not trying to sell it quickly. What's most important to me is my bottom line."
Mhm.
So maybe you know, repeating and approving a little bit more, like taking a step back, really listening to what they're saying, making them feel heard and understood. How? By repeating and approving what they're saying, and then you know, doing like a level shift or pivoting a little bit. The other thing that I wanted to say also, when Naomi said, you know what, I don't want to lower my price. Bring me a buyer, I'll pay you 4%. I feel like she kept giving you objections like that, that made it seem like she doesn't know what value you bring. Like, why should she hire you? So maybe in that instance, you can tell her a little bit about how you're able to benefit her, you know, financially. Like maybe bring up the exposure issue, how you're able to expose her home to a lot more people that you know could potentially bring in more offers, driving the price up. Or you can talk to her about the types of buyers and how you know safety and security, all of those things. That was an opportunity for you to sort of you know, show your value as an active and aggressive agent that was clear because your tone of voice and your confidence is definitely there. I think just taking a step back to make them feel like you're hearing what they're saying, I think will help you a lot. And also, I did make a note. I'm driving, but I made a quick note on my phone about the appraisal issue. You know, she kept fighting you about the price. Maybe that's another tool that you can add to your toolbox in mentioning that, you know what, Mr. Seller, if we decide to price at this, you know, at this price, I do not want to overpromise and underdeliver. If we get an offer at this price, the deal may indeed fall apart because at the end of the day, if a buyer brings in, you know, is getting financing and an appraisal has to come in, they're going to look at the same numbers. And what do you think they're going to say the home is worth, giving the data that I'm showing you? So something like that, you know, I think will help you
What
just
help
so that,
them, so it doesn't seem like it's just what I'm saying. It's also adding like another person that may come in. And you're right. And you did that on the last call when we spoke, and that was really, really good. So I'll make sure when I'm getting
yeah,
some rebuttals, because I'm just, unfortunately, like you said, I'm just one of those people who's like, I just go, whatever I said, I just be going straight into it. And
but like everything else, if there's not a balance, it may hurt you because at the end of
yeah.
the day, even at the end of the presentation, when she said, "You know what? We're gonna bring in another agent," like you didn't acknowledge that, and you know, taking a step back and you know, and this trust me, I've been there. It is not easy, okay, but that will help you a lot in trying to take a step back, trying to make them feel like you're hearing what they're saying, and this is how I can help you, Mr. Seller. You are good. Oh, another note that I took: the word guarantee. That scares the living shit out of me because
What
you
is it?
never want to. The word guarantee. You use that a lot.
Ah. Yeah.
I
You
know I
use
said I
the
can't
word,
guarantee. I know
yeah,
I
yeah.
said I can't guarantee. And then,
But if you say you can't guarantee 275, you're saying that you can guarantee that. Just the word guarantee is dangerous because you never want to own the price because you're going to piss them off the second that the home
Yeah.
doesn't sell or whatever. So instead of guarantee, just like Naomi said, try to with it, and it's not easy. Trust me, I know it's not easy, but I'm practicing it as well. Is trying to help them understand what number they should be at given the information that we have. But saying, even if you say, I can't guarantee 275, it makes it seem like you can guarantee something else. And that just isn't good because, what if the market shifts? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's it for me. But
And that's
overall,
why I told her,
yeah.
and that's why I asked her, okay, if you can guarantee 275, what makes you so confident that you can get 270? If you remember, I say that.
I do remember
Exactly.
you saying that, and
Exactly.
I was just like, so the way that I was positioning it in my head, and again, what I
Hmm.
say doesn't mean that's how it was understood, as Naomi, based on these numbers, I can list this what you want to list it as, but I can't guarantee it based on these numbers. But I will guarantee, but what I can guarantee is that I'm going to fight to get that number. That's what I
Okay.
was saying.
So
Yeah,
I
I
will
no,
think we
fight
and
to
have
get
to
that's
stay
fine.
away
270,
from it. I
but I
think we
can't
have to
guarantee
stay
them.
away from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just stay away from
Honestly,
it
stay
and
away from the word guarantee. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
help the seller come up with their own answer. Like you say, 2 plus 2 equals 4, and they keep saying 5, and then you break that down and say answer. You want to still, and you see that stay quiet. Like, okay, not in your heart and in my heart, I usually say, I know you see that you're full of shit. Now get the answer, and they're gonna say, okay, it's equal 4. I'm like, there we go. Let's do it. Here's the paperwork.
Right.
All right. So, any other feedback? Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next. I'm open to being, I'll keep putting myself out there. I'll work on my cloud CMA thing. And I'll just keep doing it with you guys to sharpen up my skills, but not this week, like next week. Um, Whatever. I'll just, like I said, I want to go ahead and get sharp. And I have to also, I've never attempted to even go for sale by owner. So I really have to shift my gears.
Hmm.
But like I said, the things that I'm great at, I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna sharpen up and get it organized, and then I'll work on my verbiage. But ideally, I plan to be great, and that's just it. So I could actually start calling for sale by owners. Oh
All right.
God.
So for next Saturday, Shania, do you want to be the seller? I'm gonna ask Gabriella if she wants to be the agent. If not, I will be the agent.
Yeah, sounds good. I can be the seller next week. Let me look at my calendar because if I have some time to prepare, maybe I can actually be the agent because I do want to practice, but I don't want to overcommit if I can't practice. So definitely put me down for at least the seller, and if I'm able to, I'll be the agent. I'll let you know by tomorrow, end of the day. Okay?
Okay, sounds good then. Thank you so much, everyone. Good job, Tanisha. See you next Saturday, girls.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.